Hi guys, today I wanted to jump on here and do a quick video about the fastest way I have found to improve your dog's overall behaviors and manners at home. Now, this is how I have helped hundreds of pet dogs, hundreds of service dogs online and in person, my own dogs quickly and effectively improve their manners. Things like coming in from outside when called, going to the bathroom outside, settling calmly. So none of this pacing back and forth behavior that can get really common in adolescence. Chewing on their own things instead of our shoes, all of that kind of thing, all of that kind of stuff. This protocol is absolutely what I have found to be the fastest and most effective way to improve our dog's manners. Now, the name of this protocol is SMART times 50, and it is outlined. Well, it's not outlined, it's described in this book, Plenty in Life is Free by Kathy Sadeo, because she's the one who sort of created this concept of SMART times 50 and wrote it in her book. If you don't have this book, I highly, highly recommend that you read it. It is one of my top 4 favorite dog training books of all time. I think it is fantastic. It is eloquently written. It is an easy read, and there is tons of great information in here. So Plenty in Life is Free by Kathy Sadeo, and I will put that in the link in the description of the video in case you would find that helpful. Now, so back to SMART times 50, which she talks about in this book. It stands for see, mark, and reward training times 50, because we're going to do this 50 times a day. But stay with me, it's not as hard as it sounds. So basically, all we're doing is counting out 50 treats a day. I'm going to put treats in quotes because honestly, I just use dog food for this because that's what I use for 90% of my training. And this is what we use for this protocol. But it could certainly be small dog treats. 50 is not as many as you think. Here's a picture of 50 pieces of dog food counted out. So you can see that it is not as much as it sounds. And we're going to do this 50 times a day. So we've got our 50 treats in your treat pouch in your pocket on your counter somewhere. And you're going to, throughout the day, see your dog doing a good behavior, mark it, say something like yes, and then reward the dog with one of your treats. And then you're just going to go back about your day and continue doing whatever you were doing. So this happens outside of training sessions. This happens just throughout the day. And it is absolutely a remarkably fast and effective way to improve your dog's manners, because the more a behavior is reinforced, the more likely it is to happen again in the future. This is one of those laws of learning, right? So the more we can reinforce our dogs for good behavior, the more good behavior they're going to display, right? So my favorite things to use this for are settling in the house. So laying on a dog bed, laying at my feet, just laying around calmly. I do this with puppies. I usually pop this protocol out again in adolescence, but I love using this. This is how I teach my dogs to sit still, to be calm and just lay down and settle in the house. Now, yes, when I say yes and go deliver a treat, in the beginning, they get up, okay? And then they eventually lay back down. And that can feel very, very counterproductive because the dog was sleeping, you've delivered a treat, and now he's up again. But I promise you, over time, you will deliver the treat, the dog will eat it, and he'll go right back to sleep. That's how my advanced dogs act with this behavior. So I use this for settling. With a puppy, I will act, or an adolescent, or any dog who struggles with chewing, I will actively reinforce them for chewing on their own stuff. I will reinforce them for coming in from the yard when called, for going to the bathroom outside, for walking through the kitchen and not trying to jump on it, for greeting guests politely, just anything that I see throughout the day that I think I would really like my dog to do that again in the future. I will use my SMART times 50 and I will reinforce them for that. Now, along with this, there is kind of a secondary piece that's really important. I think she calls it just that you need to be smart in the book. Because along with reinforcing this good behavior that's happening, because I promise you, 90% of the dogs that I have worked with are displaying more good behavior throughout the day than bad behavior, than problem behaviors. It's just that we tend to forget them and ignore them when they're being good, because generally a good dog is laying in the corner not doing anything, right? And then it's when they're jumping on the counter or getting into the trash or chasing the cat that we notice their behavior. So really 90% of dogs that I've worked with are displaying more good behavior throughout the day than bad behavior, than behaviors we would label bad. So along with reinforcing that good behavior as it happens, we also want to be smart by setting our environment up so that our dog is likely to display those good behaviors. So if I have a dog who struggles with chewing, for example, like or just picking up things that aren't his. So Leo went through this phase. Luckily, Leo was not a heavy chewer, but he's a lab. And when he was early in adolescence, he wanted to carry everything around. So he would collect things and just bring them to the center of the living room and then and it was just very annoying. Luckily, he wasn't destructive, but it's still annoying and not a thing I want. So in order to help him be successful, right, I tried to keep things picked up so that there wasn't a lot for him to carry around. And then I would reinforce him with my Smart Times 50 protocol for carrying his own toys around, for chewing on his own bones. And then over time, I slowly started to leave more and more things out in the environment that were not for him, while also reinforcing him for, again, carrying and chewing on his own things. So along with reinforcing these behaviors throughout the day, I am also going to try and set my dog up for success, right? So if I have a dog who really struggles to sit still, I may have him on a leash in the beginning and then reinforce him for settling at my feet, that type of thing. We want to be creative. Now, of course, she goes into far more details in her book, and I highly recommend that you all grab a copy because, like I said, it is absolutely fantastic. But if you have any questions about this protocol at all, you can put them into the comments. You can also put them in our free Facebook group, Train Your Service Dog with Confidence, which is the best place to get help for anything that I mentioned in these videos. Now, if you liked this video, if you found it helpful, make sure to click the like button below, subscribe to the channel, and then share this video anywhere that you think other owner trainers might find it helpful. Talk to you guys later.